Today's topic is retinols, retinoids. And this is that time of year when I start getting my clients back on their retinoids. You know, during those summer months, we take a little break, we use alternatives, we use things like bakuchiol and things like that I talked about in the spring. But now that fall is here, it is time to dive back in and dive in strong with those retinoids. And why do we do that? We do that because retinoid is the best healthy aging serum ingredient that we can put on our skin for really rejuvenating the skin. Let me give you a little bit, it's the way I explain it to my clients of why we use retinol and what it does. And this is the real dumbed down version, but I find it works so well. So I'm going to explain to you my version of why we use retinol on the skin. But don't be afraid. I know some of you have tried retinols in the past and you've had some iffy experiences, some peeling and flaking. I'm going to teach you today, coach you through how to avoid those kind of things. But the reason why we want to use retinol on the skin is because as we age, the collagen layer of our skin gets thinner. So if we think of this layer right in here as your collagen layer, and then this laying on the top is the top layer of skin, kind of our covering, our coating here. So as this thicker layer gets thinner, this layer gets thicker and more leathery, right? It gets that real leathery kind of texture on it, and it does that to protect us. We need that protective coating. So what retinol is, what we've discovered that retinoids do that's so amazing is it goes back in and it stimulates the production of this collagen in this collagen layer so that this layer actually thickens up. So a lot of times you actually hear that, or you can read about retinol and how it actually thickens the dermis. So that's what it's doing. It's actually getting into that collagen layer, stimulating that layer so it's thicker. But then our body that created this top leathery coat doesn't need that anymore. So what happens is that begins to thin down. Naturally, that will thin down and this will thicken back up. And we just think baby bottom, right? You want that really nice plump baby bottom with that nice thin baby skin on that surface skin. So that's what retinol is doing for us. What can happen when we use retinoids that are too strong for us, or we're too aggressive in our approach, or if we just have a lot of damaged skin tissue, maybe we haven't taken great care of our skin, we haven't used sunscreen very well, just a lot of sun damage build up, a lot of leathery skin on there. When you start using retinol, sometimes it can stimulate too much change too fast. So if it's going too fast, then this top layer that's leathery that needs to shed off is going to get inflamed, irritated, peely, dry, itchy, sometimes a little like cigarette burn red marks where it's just peeling off. And that's not comfortable. And so when that happens, we have to learn how to slow that back down. We don't want to stop. Some people think at that point, oh, I'm allergic to retinol, I can't use it, and really they're not. What it often means, if you get a lot of peeling going on, it often means that's where you have the most damage on your skin. And you are probably one of those candidates that actually needs retinol the most. So I have found in my journeys with retinol over 15 years is that I can go months or even a year without any kind of flaking or irritation from my retinol, and then all of a sudden I'll just start flaking and getting some irritation going and some skin cells lifting off. And what's happening is that I'm just going through a cycle, and all of a sudden I've got this buildup of damaged cells that needs to come off. So you may find that in your retinol experience, so you can go along just fine, and then all of a sudden you're having a little bit of adverse reaction. That's just because those skin cells need to come off, and you're going through a flaking. Think of it as kind of a snake, right? You're going through a shedding phase, and when you're in that shedding phase, you can back off a little bit on your retinol, or you can do some of these tricks that I'm going to share with you today. So before I completely dive headfirst into retinols, I want to share with you that we have a special going on. If you go onto my website, go on the front of the page, you'll see a box to sign up for a contest we have going on. So right now, in honor of National Menopause Day, I don't know who comes up with these crazy ideas for holidays, but we have a National Menopause Day that happened this weekend. And in honor of that, we are giving away the entire Powell collection. So you're going to get the serum for the face, you're going to get the eye serum, and then you're also going to get the night cream, which is a retinol night cream. So I want to encourage you all to go over there, sign up, and see if you can get yourself a collection of the Powell products. Now, when you start on these products, please, please, please go outside in natural light, nice, gentle morning light. You don't have to be in the bright, harsh light. You don't even have to go outside. Just go to a north-facing window. Let the light shine on your face. Hold your camera up, your little iPhones or your cell phones, your mobile devices. Hold up and take a before picture. Take that before picture whenever you start a new skincare routine. With my Scopla people, my Mitama people, my Powell people, I'm just stressing that. Or if you buy the Curve, you've got to take your before pictures. And then 1 week later, 2 weeks later, whenever, take those after pictures. If you're thinking, oh, I'm not seeing any results, go take those after pictures, because many times change happens at a very slow and a cumulative rate. But with my clients who I work with online doing our healthy aging consultations, when I show them their picture, 5 weeks later, a year later, the difference is astounding and it's amazing. And you just don't always see it when you're looking in the mirror at yourself. So anyway, if you win this little kit, take your before pictures so you can get good after pictures and really see what is Powell. Powell is a system that stimulates collagen production in the skin, because during menopause, that first 5 years of menopause, you lose 30% of your collagen, and then you lose 2% per year after that. So Powell has a special ingredient called MEP, and it actually goes after that lost collagen and helps retrieve it, get it back. And my clients who are using it are seeing amazing results. Now, these products are super active. So I have some protocol. I have protocol on my website. You can reach out for help, but you just need to know when you put these serums on, the first 2 minutes, your skin is going to feel very tingly and maybe even turn bright red. But they're very active. The results are astounding. I have after pictures flowing into me from all over the place, people texting me with pictures of their skin after being on this system for a few weeks. And it's amazing. Now, the younger you are, and the sooner you catch this in that menopausal window, the faster you're going to see results. If you're like me and you're a little further out, or you're like my mom, a little further out than that, it's going to take longer. I was told to look at 8 weeks for my age of 58 before I saw a difference. To be honest with you, I saw a difference within 1 week of my skin. So I'm really excited. Actually, I don't think it's been 8 weeks yet. I'm still not at the 8-week mark, and already my skin is just amazing. It's been a game changer for me. I didn't think that some things that I just thought were going to be naturally the next progression in aging, and it has backed that up. So that's exciting news. Okay, that's my little infomercial on our giveaway. Let's get back to collagen production. Now, when we talk about retinol, we're talking about collagen, right? So we're talking about repairing and replenishing collagen. So when I want to do that, the very first thing that I'm always going to do is look at my diet and look at my internal health. So collagen, in order to protect that collagen, you need a diet high in leafy green vegetables. I also take a collagen supplement, and there's lots out there, but this is the one that I love. It's from Humm Nutrition. It's called Collagen Love, and this really helps to support the elasticity and firmness of your skin. So start internally with everything you do. Get good exercise, drink lots of clean water, and take good supplements for your skin. Now, the next thing I want to do, let me get my notes up here Don't want to miss anything. I really have some great stuff to talk about today. Hope I didn't lose it. Come back here. It is on there. There it is. I found it. Sorry, guys. Get up here. Okay. So I'm going to kind of start with retinol from the strongest form of retinoid and then work my way down to the gentlest form of Retin A, or retinoid. So let's go up here. So the most common form of retinoid that people hear of and that is recommended or prescribed by doctors and dermatologists is tretinoin. That's a retinoic acid. It's actually a synthetic form of retinol, and it's actually very strong. I have many clients write into me all the time, what should I do with my tretinoin? How should I use that? My first reaction, many of you know this, is I say, just don't use tretinoin. I think it's too strong. You know, one of the major things that causes aging in the skin is inflammation. So if you're attacking your skin with something that's too harsh and you've got inflammation happening and irritation, you're kind of going the wrong direction. You're actually stimulating the wrong kind of collagen. You're going to stimulate more of a ropey, kind of callousy form of collagen that's there to try and protect your skin from the onslaught. So many people have different ways of dealing with tretinoin, especially if your insurance is paying for that and you want to be able to use it for free. People have different workarounds, right? One thing that people do is only use it once a week or use it once a month. And what I want to say about that is that it's not going to do you much good to do that way. Your skin can only absorb a teeny tiny amount of retinoid at a time. The problem with tretinoin is that your skin will absorb that tiny amount that it needs, which is good, it's all it needs, but all that extra retinoid is still sitting on the surface of the skin and it causes all kinds of irritation and problems. So you've got to be able to use that tretinoin or your retinoids every day. So how can you do that? If you absolutely want to use that tretinoin, then use a buffer. Number one, of course, apply it to clean, dry skin and wait 20 minutes before you put it on. If the skin is wet, water is going to pull it in and interact with it and cause some irritation. So allow your skin to dry completely. And then I like to pull out Rhonda Allison's Grapeseed Replenish. This is a grapeseed oil that is acne safe, super calming, great antioxidants, but for 10, 15 years now, this is what my clients have been using. They use a little bit of that Grapeseed Replenish, put it on your fingers, pat that on. It's a very light acne safe oil. You're gonna pat that on and then put your tretinoin on top of that. And that's going to give you that nice little buffer so that you can use your tretinoin more often. Now, in general, and always whenever using any kind of retinoid, you want to keep the skin extra moisturized. So once you put on your grapeseed serum, put on your tretinoin, and then put on something like Sorella's balm. I love the balm from Sorella, or Hale and Hush. They have an excellent cream, saffron, meristem cream, or Neogenesis barrier renewal. You want to put on one of those heavier creams to really help keep that skin extra well moisturized during that whole time that you're using retinol. So the other thing is with tretinoin is that you're probably going to need to use a more relaxed dosage, right? Some people are saying, yeah, I just use it once a week or once every other week. You've got to start using it more. So do these methods, put on the grapeseed glow underneath, and then start slowly increasing. You can do that on a graduated basis. Maybe for the first 2 weeks, you just use it once a week. Then after 2 weeks, try bumping up to twice a week. And then in 3 weeks, 3 times a week. But if you get to 2 times a week or 3 times a week and all of a sudden your skin's reacting again, go back down to 1 and do that again for several weeks and then try again going to 2 times. If you can go for 2 times a week and you're not getting any reaction, your skin's so happy and lovely, then go to 3 times a week. If you get a reaction, back it up. Go down to 2 times a week for a few more weeks. And then try 3 times a week again after that. So you're just gonna have to be, if you want to get the most out of your retinol and retinoid and be able to use it on a regular basis, you've got to be persistent and work up so that you are using it a minimum of 3 times a week, best 5 times a week with your Tretinoin. So those are my little tips for doing the Tretinoin. But what do I choose for myself? So I choose a natural form of retinoid. I'm choosing either L-retinol or I'm choosing Retinaldehyde. Both of those are natural forms of retinol. They're a lot less irritating, and they still give you those great results. I love them. So let's start with L-retinol. We have an L in front of retinol. L-retinol means it's chirally correct. That means it works well with your skin. It's not just going to lay on the surface and cause irritation or anything like that. It's actually it's chirally correct, so it's actually formulated at the molecular level so that it interacts correctly with your skin. That's the retinol that I personally love to use the most, is L-retinol. Now, the best L-retinols are combined with a little bit of either alpha or beta hydroxy acid. And we combine them with different acids depending on the kind of results that we want. So I'm going to kind of go through some of my favorite L-retinol serums. There are lots of great ones out there. I know it, but these are the ones that I've worked with for 10, 15 years. I've worked with hundreds of clients. I know what they do. I've worked with them on my own skin. And so these are the ones that I can recommend, knowing the best, knowing exactly what they will do for your skin. So here are my quick tips though for using, and this is all these notes are going to be down in the description of my video once it's posted. So you will be able to go and read all of this in case you miss anything that I'm saying. So the method or the tips for getting the best out of an L-retinol serum without getting any side effects, peeling, inflammation or redness and that kind of thing, or itchiness. Number one thing that I will tell you is you've got to be using DNA age reversal from Rhonda Allison. This used to be called C-Gems. This is a wonderful biopeptide. Actually reduces inflammation in the skin. It oxygenates the skin. It just is that great mitigator. You put this on underneath your retinol and rarely will you ever have any kind of a reaction to your retinol serums. So any of my L-retinol serums you're gonna see in the notes below. This is what I'm layering underneath an L-retinol serum. Number 2, you've got to, as I said with the Tretinoin, you've got to be extra hydrated during the seasons that you're using your retinol. Otherwise, as the skin gets dry, it's going to have more chance of getting inflammation and irritation. So boosting your moisturizers, taking it up a notch if you can. Go to a little stronger moisturizer. I mentioned Sorella the Balm as a night cream. Saffron Meristem from Hale and Hush, or Neogenesis Berry Renewal, or whatever your favorite brand is, take it up a notch. The Regenerating Cream from Rhonda Allison is fantastic for just boosting that extra bit of a moisture level. And when I'm talking about boosting your moisture, we can do that with water hydrators. But when it comes to retinol, you're wanting to use more of a balmy moisturizer. So you're going to want to use a cream at nighttime over your retinols that feels a little heavier. I know most of us out there during the daytime, we hate heavy moisturizers, but at nighttime while you're using retinol, that little heavier moisturizer is going to be your best friend. So those are my 2 most important tips with using L-retinol, is to first put on the DNA reversal, and then to be sure that you're using good moisturizing, using a nice balm to keep that skin extra protected and hydrated. Now, I'm going to put in the notes how I do L-retinol. So with Tretinoid, I mentioned, slowly working up to where you can use it more. My tendency with L-retinol is to go the opposite direction, and that is I put most clients on it every night to start. If you get any little adverse reactions, then we stop, let that go away, and we cut back a little bit. Cut back to 2 or 3 nights a week. Do that for several weeks. If that's going fine, then bump it up to using it every night. Again, you've just got to be persistent. I've had clients who took 6 months before they could use it every night, because every time they started to increase, they'd start to flake and peel again. And I want to tell you that's not because they were allergic or they were oversensitive. It's because they had a lot of damaged skin cells that need to be sloughed off. Once those clients go through that 6-month period and then they're able to use it every night, their skin is night and day different. It's so much better. The skin looks so much younger and so much healthier. So you've got to be persistent and work through it. But with L-retinol, my tendency is to go right after it and go after that retinol peel. You know, we pay, what, $125 to go into your local esthetician and get a retinol peel, where you can kind of do one at home sometimes. And it won't hurt you. You might get a little itchy or red, and then you just back off, keep your skin extra hydrated and moisturized until that little bit of redness and itchiness subsides and goes away, and then start back up again. So generally with my studio clients, I'm having them use an L-retinol serum every night. Most of them don't have any reaction because they're using DNA reversal underneath it. If they do get a reaction, then we just back them off a little bit and then slowly keep working our way up until we're using it nightly with no peeling and dryness effects. So that said, let me share with you my favorite retinols and how I pick them. So one of my favorite retinols right now is a retinol cream, and that's actually from Powell. That's the Powell night cream. That's for those people who are in that menopausal window. Maybe you're premenopausal, you're having hot flashes, or your menstruation is getting very irregular. That's the time when you want to start on Powell, and you can use that at nighttime. It's fabulous. Now I am definitely, this is a strong serum, a strong cream. So I am definitely using the DNA age reversal underneath it. And when I wasn't doing that, I actually got a few little peely spots because I have a little sun damage right here, and it goes right after wherever your most damage is. Went right after some sun damage here and a little sun damage on my collarbones, and made those very itchy and red. And then I realized, oh, well, of course, it's a retinol. I need to be putting my DNA age reversal underneath it. And that did the trick. I haven't had any peeliness since then. So I am using that cream because I have the problem with lip lines or my lips. And so most of the time you would think, oh, don't use retinol around the mouth, right? Because that's a real sensitive area. But because I'm wanting to go after these lines, I am putting my retinol there. And you can do that too, but you've really got to baby that area and be sensitive to it. If you start to get a little redness, peeling, irritation, itchiness, back off of it. Don't use it until all of that is subsided and the skin is healed, and then just slowly reintroduce. Definitely put on your DNA reversal underneath it and put lots of balmy moisture on top of it to keep those lips really extra hydrated. So now we're going to go to my next favorite, and this is the one this was my favorite before Powell. Still a very strong favorite. Powell's very strong and gonna get some reaction in some people's skin. My other favorite that probably has a little less reactions in people's skin is Rhonda Allison's. I'm looking on my shelf here for Rhonda Allison's Retinol Supreme. Now Rhonda makes an encapsulated L-retinol serum, since she has 2 of them. She has one with lactic acid and she has one with salicylic acid. And I actually love them both. The one with the lactic acid is more hydrating, so it's gonna give you a more hydrated feeling with using it. You're still gonna put your DNA reversal underneath it. Or she has encapsulated retinol. This one's called Retinol Clear. with salicylic acid in it. Both of these are amazing, and I have clients that go back and forth between them both because they're addictive. The salicylic one is the one that is called Retinol Clear. It's the one that goes after enlarged pores or some blackheads in the pores. When you use this serum, the next morning when you wake up, your skin looks so smooth and so tight and so firm. It's like Barbie skin. So, but it's a little more drying. It's a little stronger. It's really good for that normal to oily side of skin, where the Retinol Supreme is better for that normal to dry side of skin types. So both of those are amazing. I've listed them down below so you can go on the website and check them out. But that encapsulated retinol with a little bit of acid mixed in with it just gives you really dreamy, beautiful skin without much adaptation needed in order to transition and get used to the retinol experience. So let me see. I've written down several of them. I don't want to miss one. So the other one I want to talk about that's an L-retinol is Face Reality's Vitamin A Corrective. Vitamin A Corrective 2. Vitamin A Corrective 2 is an L-retinol serum. It's strong. This is our strongest one, and it's, I need to look on here really quick. I wanted to see if oh, that's right. They did not, Laura did not combine this with an acid. Instead, she made it so that it is a timed release. It's a controlled released, very strong retinoic acid serum, and it's excellent for those people with congestive acne. So people that get if you get a lot of congestion in your skin with little hard pebbles that are very hard to come up, this is that serum that's going to help with that. When it comes to acne, and I'm going to be doing more acne videos, but when it comes to acne, I don't use retinol very often. If you have inflamed pustular acne, do not put any kind of retinol on that. You will be so inflamed. Men who get folliculitis and breakouts from that in this jawline, do not use retinol. It will flame that up and it'll be a mess. But those who just mainly get blackheads and little bumps, hard bumps under the skin, that's when Face Reality's Retinol Vitamin A Corrective 2 serum comes in really handy. So let's see, one other one that I really like, looking over here, is from Sorella. Now, if you want an L-retinol that's pretty gentle, this one is combined with a vitamin C instead of using an alpha or beta hydroxy acid, and it's combined with a very gentle form of vitamin C. So it's a non-acidic form of vitamin C. So this is a very gentle retinol. It's in a kind of a creamy serum, and it pairs perfectly with Sorella the balm. So if you put on your all-night elixir, that's what it's called, and then you put the balm on top, it's a fantastic combination. And it's especially good for anyone who has a little more sensitive, little more dry skin, and they want to start out slow. And they want those great results, but they want to go slow and they don't want to have irritation and all of that whatnot coming up. So I love that combination for that drier, more sensitive skin type that still wants to go after that L-retinol transformation of the skin. Now, let's get into retinaldehyde, because there's a lot of confusion about all of it. A lot of times you'll read out there that retinaldehyde is the supreme form. It's a natural form of retinol. Some people say that it's a strongest form of natural vitamin A. My experience is that it is not really the strongest. I would say it's right on par with my experiences with L-retinol, but it is gentler. So retinaldehyde gently is going to be a gentler experience with your gentlest experience with retinoids, best for those most sensitive skin types, or it's a really good starting place with retinoids. You can start with a retinaldehyde and go through a bottle or two of that as your skin gets really used to the retinoids. Then you can bump it up and try one of the L-retinols. So retinaldehyde, for the most part, is most effective if it's combined with a gentle acid. So I'm going to go over some of those that I have and what they're combined with. We do have a couple of retinaldehyde serums that don't have an acid in them. That would be Skin Scripts and Hale and Hush Rare Retinol. And those two would be the very best retinols for people with the most sensitive, reactive skin types. So it's a really good way for you to introduce retinol to your skin without having any adverse reactions, and get your skin used to, get the change and transformation started, and ease into other stronger retinols. So as far as retinaldehyde goes, I have a few favorites in there. We hit the acid-free one. So Rhonda Hallison has several of them that are boosted with L-mandelic acid. I love mandelic acid. I think everyone loves mandelic acid right now. It's one of those hot ingredients that's being used more and more. So L-mandelic is great for aging because it's going to boost collagen levels. It's good for brightening because it brightens this hyperpigmentation. It's also antibacterial and antifungal. So when you can use those, so it's so great for acne, right? So it's really, when you add that L-mandelic to your retinaldehyde, you've got amazing things going on. It's a really wonderful synergy happening. So in my notes below, I've listed out the different retinaldehyde serums from Rhonda Hallison that have that L-mandelic acid in it, so that you can kind of pick around in there and see if there might be one that you like to try. Now, most people can just jump in and use any of these retinaldehyde serums, even the ones with acid, can jump right in there and use them every night without any problems. There is always, though, that extra sensitive person, and if that's you and you start to use it and you notice a little itchiness or something, then you just back off a bit and go a little slower. Use it once a week for a week. Next week, then add twice a week. And then if that's going good, go up to 3 times a week. And if at 3 times a week you get some rashing or irritation, back down to twice a week for several weeks, and then try 3 times a week again. So it's just all this kind of playing with it and finding and, babying your skin. Pay attention to what your skin is telling you. If it's going fast and it's fine, great. If you need to slow down, just slow down. Baby your skin for a bit. Give it a little bit more time in between your applications of your retinol. So there is one other. So we have mandelic acid that we mix retinaldehyde with, and then Face Reality gets really avant-garde and risque, and they mix their vitamin A corrective serum, which contains retinaldehyde. They mix it with glycolic acid. So this is that retinaldehyde that's going to be a bit stronger, probably the strongest of our retinaldehydes. And with that glycolic acid in there, it's going to go after oiliness. It's going to go after clogged pores and retexturizing the skin. So now, any of those that I mentioned from Face Reality, you have to have approval to get those. So you've got to go fill out our acne, it's not called acne, but we have a form on the website for Face Reality, a consultation form that you have to fill out. We have to have that on file. Face Reality requires it, but we have to have that on file before you can purchase any of the correctives from Face Reality from us. So If you're interested in trying retinaldehyde with glycolic acid, you can give it a try, but you're gonna have to fill out your form first. Or if you're one of our acne clients, ask your acne specialist. Ask Morgan, is this appropriate for me? Do you think this serum would be a good idea for me? And she will definitely let you know if you are a candidate for any kind of retinol with your acne. So I'm going to open it up now to questions. I'm trying to keep my YouTube lives concise, but I have so much information to share with you guys, and that makes it difficult. So I just kind of rushed through, giving you the bare bones, the most important information I feel that goes with using a retinol or retinaldehyde or a retinoic acid. And now I'm going to open it up for questions, so you can ask me some questions. And then, of course, below in the description, I'll have all of this laid out in a concise manner so that you can find things and go check things out on your own. So also, there's a link below so that you can go and fill out the form to win yourself the free set of Emapel. It's a $468 value. And we're giving that away. The giveaway ends on the 26th, and the winners will be announced on the 27th. Yes, super exciting, super exciting. Okay, let me get in here to your questions. I just got to find you guys. There you are. Okay, we do have some good questions going on in here. Start at the top. Okay, this is such a good question from Jessica. Jessica Jane says, are there any products that I should avoid using at the same time as I apply my retinoids? Thank you for asking that, because as I was finishing up with my talk and moving towards this, I knew there was something in the back of my mind that I forgot to mention that was very important. And that is one thing that people reach out to me all the time. And they say, I know I can't combine vitamin C with my retinol. What can I use? Oh, I know I shouldn't do this and add this. I shouldn't add acids, use acids when I'm using retinol. So I want to tell you that you can use vitamin C or an acid with your retinoids, but it's best if they are already formulated together. That way we know it's pH balanced and it's going to have a good positive effect on your skin. If you're using some strong vitamin C serum from this other company and then you're taking a retinoid from over here and you're putting it on top, that's going to be bad news. Additionally, if you're using a prescription retinol, I saw some of you asking about Retin A, adapalene, all those other prescription retinols. If you're using one of those, most likely no. You cannot put vitamin C underneath it. You cannot put any acid underneath that. That stuff is already too strong and already causing so much irritation to the skin. You just don't need it. We add those vitamin C's and those other acids to L-retinol or retinaldehyde to boost their effectiveness and to improve the regenerative properties that those serums have. So like I mentioned in my talking there, we have retinaldehydes that have vitamin C in them. We have retinols that have vitamin C, We have ones with mandelic acid, glycolic acid, all of that, but it's incorporated in. Now, if you are using one of the retinaldehydes that has no acid in it, even Rhonda Allison's with the mandelic acid, sometimes I do have people use something underneath those. And actually I did bring it. So I have a favorite serum for hyperpigmentation, and it's from Rhonda Allison. It's called Natural Mega, I'm trying to read it and I know the name, Natural Mega Brightening Serum. This, with its Bellus perennis and other ingredients, are fabulous, just amazing for treating dark pigmentation spots. And I have found that you can put this underneath your retinaldehyde serums. So I have dark spots here, so I can put it on here. And then I'm gonna grab one of Rhonda Allison's retinaldehyde serums and I'm gonna put that over the top of it. So I'm gonna get that extra boosted brightening effect. Now, If you're using Skin Script's Iconic A, or you're using Hale and Hush's Rare Retinol Serum, there are no acids in that. So first of all, that's great because you're going to start getting your skin used to the retinol, but within a few weeks, you are going to want to boost one of those serums with a corrective toner. So Rhonda Ellison has her brightening pigment lotion or her brightening toners, her Mandelic toners. You're going to want to use one of those toners with a gentle alpha or hydroxy acid. You're going to want to use that toner on your face, let it dry, and then put on your retinaldehyde serum. That will boost the benefits of your retinaldehyde serum. Retinaldehyde does not penetrate as well when you don't combine it with an alpha or beta hydroxy acid. So that was kind of a long answer to your question. So depends on the retinol, Jessica, that you're using, what you can use with it. Okay. Yeah, so Sue says that she was prescribed Retin A to help with sebaceous hyperplasia. Do you guys know what that is? They are so annoying. Sebaceous hyperplasias are little bumps that look like donuts on the surface of the skin. A lot of times people get them on their forehead or on their cheeks. Looks like a little round donut with a little bit of a dark spot. Looks like you should be able to extract it because of that donut shape. But when you go to extract, nothing comes out of it. That is sebaceous hyperplasia. That's a buildup of skin cells creating that little donut. There really is nothing that will get rid of those other than going in and having them removed with a little electricity, a little, liquid ice. Go on there, dry ice, can treat it, but you want to go in, if you're prone to getting them, go in once a year, have them removed. Your dermatologist is going to tell you, if I remove it, it's going to leave a scar. We should just leave it. It's benign. It's not going to hurt you. But let me tell you, as I treated my clients and they get older and older, you get in your 70s, those puppies keep growing. And if you wait until it's so big on your face and then have it removed, guess what? Then it really is going to leave a scar. If you have a smaller one, yep, it might leave a teeny tiny divot or a little bit of a hypopigmentation spot where they take it off. But that, to me, is better than the alternative. I'd rather have it removed now while it's small than wait till it gets great big and then have to go after it and have a bigger scar. So that's my advice on that. Many doctors are recommending prescription retinoic acid. So that could be, Retin A, Tretinoin, Tretinoin, any of those. They're recommending that probably just because they have that great effect of really smoothing the skin and keeping the skin from doing goofy things like creating a little donut on the face. It's going to keep those skin cells behaving, so it can be helpful. Now, if you tried using one of those prescriptions and you just had bad reactions, then go after L-retinol. Come on over and make friends with either Salicylic A or Retinol Supreme or Retinol Clear. Any of the L-retinols that I've listed below, those are ones that you should start with. And definitely you're going to apply your DNH reversal. I've got it out here. I have such a collection out here now. Don't know where it is. There it is. My all-time favorite serum. This serum, let me tell you a little story. My daughter Celine, who's, gosh, she's quite a bit older now, but when she was in high school, she loved this when it first came out. And she was blemish prone and it's acne safe. And it's a $100 serum. I don't know, I think it's 85 or 95. Look on the website. She would go and steal it out of my cabinet and take it to her bathroom when she was in high school. I just laugh about it. She was using the most expensive serum in my cabinet and she loved it. And the reason is just so calming and nurturing. It reduces inflammation. Like I said, oxygenates the skin. It's fabulous. She has very reactive skin, so she loved this stuff. You've got to put this on. Anytime you are a reactive person, you react to any kind of retinol, you got to put on the DNH reversal underneath. Okay. So yeah, how to keep those from coming back. You can try using the retinols. Try using that L-retinol to keep those hyperplasias from coming back. It's a tricky one. Those are tricky little puppies. They often do come back, but usually they don't come back in the same spot. So try the L-retinols. Okay, Diana asked me about the glycolic and retinol pads and the Retin A. So my advice to you, dear, is choose one or the other. You're not going to get as much of the good retinol, thickening of that collagen level with the glycolic and retinol pads, excuse me. Glycolic and retinol pads are designed to get rid of blackheads and bumps. And so they're really designed to exfoliate the surface of the skin. So, and that's fine. I mean, retinol is excellent. What retinol does when it comes to clogged pores is it goes in and it keeps that sebum down in the pore from getting sticky and getting stuck down in there. So when we combine that retinol with the glycolic acid is sloughing the skin cells, exfoliating those off the surface. So with glycoretinol pads, you're getting that good sloughing, and then you're also getting a little retinol in there to keep the sebum from getting all sticky down in there. So Skin Script glycolic retinol pads are excellent for blackheads. They are not excellent as your rejuvenating retinol serum. It's just the way, it's not formulated for that. So glycoretinol pads can be used for that kind of thing. If you're wanting to go after healthy aging and improving your collagen, and you want to also improve your pores, you can do that with one of the L-retinols. So you can do that with Rhonda Allison's Retinol Supreme, or you can do it with Rhonda Allison's Salicylic A serum. Either one of those two are going to go after your pores and keeping your pores clean, as well as doing the good stuff for collagen that we want retinol to do. Diana wants to know, comparing retinaldehyde to prescription retinol. This is apples and oranges. You know, Retin A is, like I said, it's tretinoin. It's a synthetic form of vitamin A. It's very harsh. Retinaldehyde is your most gentle form of retinol, and it's a natural form of retinol, and you don't get those reactions that you can get with Retin A. Okay, final question. Which retinol would you recommend for someone with eczema-prone skin? Also, can retinol be used with Neogenesis products? So retinol can be, I'm going to first go to Neogenesis. So retinol can be used with Neogenesis. However, prescription retinol does not play friendly with recovery serum. For whatever reason, those two are just not happy together. Most of the time, what I'm using underneath any of our retinols is that DNA age reversal. However, you could use recovery serum under any of the L-retinol or the Retinaldehyde serums, and we don't usually see a problem with that. We just occasionally see a problem when you're using that under prescription retinol. As far as somebody who has eczema, what I'm going to recommend to you is Hale and Hush all the way. So you're going to want Hale and Hush retinol serum. It's called Rare Retinol Serum, and you are going to want to put on the DNA age reversal underneath it, and you're going to want to put on the Saffron Meristem cream. Here it is, Saffron Meristem on top of it. Saffron Meristem is amazing. I tell you, in the winter time, I'm that person that this little frenulum in my nose can get really dry and just flake. I've had winters where it just flaked nonstop, and then enter the scene, Saffron Meristem totally cured the problem. Just a little Saffron Meristem on there and no more constant peeling of my nose from the cold air. So Saffron Meristem is amazing, and for anyone with eczema, that would be what I would suggest. Here's your little trio. You're gonna have the DNA age reversal, then you'll put on the Rare Retinol. let it dry, and then you're gonna put on your saffron meristem cream. And that's gonna be a good choice for somebody with more sensitive and problems with eczema. Now, that said, if you're having an outbreak of eczema on your face or contact dermatitis on your face, that's not the time to start with your any kind of a retinaldehyde or retinol serum. You want to wait until your skin has recuperated from that. And that is it. All right. We did it. We dove in there. We took a look at retinols. We answered some questions. I hope it was super helpful. If you have any more questions, reach out to me at Art of Skincare on our live chat. A great way, if you want help picking the perfect retinol for you this winter and putting together a whole routine that'll really work well for you, head over to Art of Skincare. Go to our healthy aging consultations. I do those. I do a limited number each week. So if you see that it's sold out and there's a little sign on there that says notify me, hit that notify me box and drop your email in there. And the next time I open it up to more customers, you will find out, you'll get a notification and it'll let you know. But there's only one of me. I can only do so many, so I kind of have to slow it down. And when we cap out each week, then that notification comes up. That said, I just want to tell you guys, I won't be here next week. I'm going on a personal retreat. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Hoffman process, but I'm going off to Santa Rosa area to do the Hoffman process. I will be gone all next week. And I won't be doing any healthy aging consultations or any lives for you guys during that time. But I will be back the week after that, first week of November, and we're gonna have some fun topics because we're gonna start diving into what you've all been yammering for, hyperpigmentation. What's my hyperpigmentation protocol for this year? What are my tips for treating hyperpigmentation now that we've made it through and we've come through the other side of summer? So in November, we're gonna start diving into that. So I hope you all had a wonderful day and that you'll have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again soon in a few weeks.